For decades, the Malacca Strait has been one of the most critical maritime choke points in the world. Over 80% of China's oil imports pass through this narrow waterway, making it a significant strategic vulnerability. But now, a bold new project threatens to change everything: the China-Iran Railway. This massive infrastructure initiative isn't just about moving goods. It's about reshaping global trade, shifting alliances, and challenging the dominance of Western-controlled supply chains. But how did this project come about? What are its implications? Imagine standing at a busy port in Iran's Bandar Abbas, watching cargo ships unload massive containers filled with oil and goods. For years, these shipments had one primary route, through the Malacca Strait, a congested and vulnerable waterway under the watchful eye of the U. But what if there was another way? That's exactly what China and Iran have envisioned with their new railway. This ambitious project connects Iran's strategic ports directly to China through Central Asia, stretching thousands of kilometers across rugged terrains and historical trade routes. But why now? What has accelerated this project after years of discussion? The answer lies in geopolitics. With U.S. sanctions tightening on Iran and China, facing increasing pressure from the West, both nations saw an opportunity to strengthen their alliance. This railway provides Iran with a vital economic lifeline, allowing it to bypass Western-controlled markets and reduce its dependency on the U.S. For China, it offers a strategic win, an alternative to the risky Malacca Strait, and a new direct route to Iranian oil. This railway isn't just an economic venture, it's a geopolitical game-changer that directly challenges U.S. dominance in global trade and security. For decades, the United States has strategically used economic sanctions to isolate Iran, crippling its economy and limiting its ability to trade freely on the global market. These sanctions were designed to pressure Iran into compliance with Western policies, cutting off its access to key financial systems, restricting oil exports, and discouraging international businesses from engaging with Tehran. However, China's involvement in the China-Iran Railway changes everything. With a powerful economic partner on its side, Iran now has a critical alternative to bypass U.S. restrictions. Instead of relying on Western-controlled maritime routes, such as the Strait of Hormuz or the Suez Canal, China and Iran can trade directly via land. This railway provides a lifeline, reducing Iran's dependence on routes where U.S. naval forces or allied countries could enforce blockades or restrictions. Beyond economic advantages, this railway gives China and Iran greater control over their supply chains. Unlike maritime trade, which can be disrupted by piracy, territorial disputes, or naval interventions, a land-based transport network is far more predictable and secure. This shift significantly weakens Washington's ability to exert pressure on Iran and limits the effectiveness of existing sanctions. Moreover, by creating a direct trade corridor between East and West, China is setting the stage for a broader economic realignment, one that favors emerging powers over traditional Western dominance. How will Washington respond? The growing China-Iran partnership is undoubtedly raising alarm bells in Washington. How will Washington respond? The growing China-Iran partnership is undoubtedly raising alarm bells in Washington. The United States has long maintained a strong military presence in the Middle East to protect its interests and keep adversarial powers like Iran in check. However, this railway threatens to erode U.S. leverage, forcing policymakers to reconsider their approach. Several potential responses are on the table. By deploying more naval forces surveillance systems and strategic military bases, Washington may attempt to counterbalance China's growing influence. Stronger sanctions on China and Iran. If the railway proves to be a viable alternative for Iran's economy, the United States could respond by targeting Chinese companies involved in the project. This would make it more difficult for international businesses to use the route without facing economic repercussions. However, given China's growing financial and technological independence, such sanctions may have a limited impact. This could involve developing infrastructure projects in India, the Caucasus, or Central Asia as a counterbalance. Washington could use economic incentives, trade deals, or security partnerships to discourage participation in China's expanding Belt and Road Initiative. The China-Iran Railway is more than just a transportation project. It's a bold move that threatens to reshape global power dynamics. By reducing reliance on U.S.-dominated trade routes, Iran gains new economic freedoms, while China solidifies its role as a dominant force in global infrastructure development. The real question now is whether the U.S. can effectively counter this shift, or if we are witnessing the beginning of a new geopolitical order, one where economic and political influence gradually moves away from Washington and toward Beijing. Beyond geopolitics, the China-Iran Railway presents a range of economic advantages that could reshape trade and energy security in Asia and beyond. The most immediate benefit is efficiency. Transporting oil and goods by rail is often faster and more cost-effective than relying on maritime routes. Unlike ships, which must navigate congested waterways and endure long transit times, trains can move cargo swiftly across vast distances, reducing delays and lowering transportation costs. This is a game-changer for China, which is constantly seeking ways to optimize its supply chains and reduce reliance on vulnerable trade routes. Why is bypassing the Malacca Strait such a big deal? The Malacca Strait, a narrow passage between Malaysia and Indonesia, is one of the busiest and most strategically significant shipping lanes in the world. It serves as the primary maritime route connecting the Indian Ocean with the Pacific, facilitating the movement of nearly a third of global trade. However, China's reliance on this route has long been a major strategic vulnerability. Several key risks make it an unreliable option for long-term energy security. 1. Piracy and security threats. The waters of the Malacca Strait have historically been a hotspot for piracy, posing a significant risk to commercial vessels. Although international efforts have reduced incidents in recent years, the threat remains a concern for shipping companies and energy suppliers. 2. Geopolitical tensions. The region is fraught with geopolitical tensions, including territorial disputes in the South China Sea. If conflicts escalate, shipping through the strait could be disrupted, impacting China's energy imports and trade. 3. U.S. naval dominance. The United States maintains a strong military presence in the Indo-Pacific, with naval forces capable of controlling or restricting key shipping lanes. In a worst-case scenario, a U.S. blockade could cut off China's vital oil imports, dealing a severe blow to its economy. By investing in a land-based alternative, China is reducing its exposure to these risks. The China-Iran Railway provides a secure and reliable transit corridor, ensuring that oil and goods can flow uninterrupted, regardless of geopolitical developments in maritime regions. This railway is not just about energy security, it also unlocks new economic opportunities. By extending deep into Central Asia, the railway strengthens trade ties with key regional players such as Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and Russia. These countries are rich in natural resources, including oil, gas, and minerals, making them valuable partners for China's industrial supply chains. For Iran, the railway offers a much-needed economic lifeline. Traditional routes, such as those passing through the Persian Gulf, are heavily monitored and subject to restrictions. However, by connecting directly with China, Iran can bypass Western-controlled trade networks and sell its resources more freely. This not only boosts Iran's economy but also enhances its political leverage in the Middle East. Furthermore, the railway integrates Iran more deeply into China's Belt and Road Initiative, a trillion-dollar infrastructure strategy aimed at expanding China's global trade network. This enhances Iran's position as a critical transit hub between Asia and Europe, attracting new investments and strengthening its role in regional commerce. Overall, the China-Iran Railway is a transformative project with far-reaching economic and strategic benefits. It mitigates China's dependence on vulnerable maritime routes, strengthens trade links across Eurasia, and provides Iran with a crucial economic alternative to Western markets. As this railway becomes fully operational, its impact on global trade and power dynamics will only continue to grow. Despite its advantages, the China-Iran Railway faces significant challenges. Political instability in the region remains a major concern. The route passes through areas that have experienced years of conflict, weak governance, and security threats. If violence or diplomatic tensions escalate, it could disrupt operations and increase costs. Environmental concerns also pose a threat. Large-scale railway construction can damage ecosystems, displace communities, and contribute to pollution. China's Belt and Road Initiative has already faced criticism for its environmental impact, and this project may face similar backlash. But beyond these internal challenges, the biggest hurdle may come from international opposition, especially from the United States and its allies. A new era of global trade? The China-Iran Railway isn't just about transportation. It's a statement that China is determined to reshape the global economic order. that Iran refuses to be isolated, and that the world's power structures are shifting in ways we've never seen before. Will this railway lead to a new era of cooperation between China and Iran, or will it spark even greater geopolitical tensions? One thing is certain. This is just the beginning of a major economic realignment that will impact us all. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.